Hey friends, welcome back to She's At It Again. I am outside, and as you can hear probably in the background, there's the sound of high school marching bands because they're having some kind of competition. And as as untimely as it is for when I turn the camera on, they start their practice in the morning. It's actually kind of cool to come outside and know that there's kids over there having so much fun. I know it's hot on that football field, it's got to be. But anyway, what I want to share with you this morning is, have you ever gone to somebody's house and as a guest you want to show up with something like flowers? Well, take it from someone who is a host most of the time. That just interrupts getting lunch ready. You don't want to really lay the flowers down on the counter or just set them aside. You want to admire them. You want to know that the person that brought them to you is appreciated for doing that. But in all reality, a flower that's going to last forever and have a purpose actually is more meaningful to somebody like me who cooks, and I don't spend a lot of time fluffing up the flower arrangement. But I want to share something with you. If you have basil growing in your yard, or if you have a friend who has basil, I'm sure they won't mind sharing this, but I'm going to show you how to have something in your house. It's not only live greenery, but it's perpetual, so you can root it. It roots super easy. You turn it into your own plants, it makes seeds, you have basil for the next year. It is just, it's one of those all-purpose plants that I really took for granted for so many years, but I learned to enjoy the fragrance of basil. I used to sniff it and go, oh, it smells like lasagna. It's okay. But I just had a preconceived notion that basil is what you use in lasagna, and that's what the smell was. I wasn't really smelling lasagna, so I'm not sure what I was thinking. But basil has such a lovely fragrance. There is a Meyer's hand soap that comes in a basil fragrance, and if you go in a store and you see this soap with the basil fragrance, they have lovely fragrances made with essential oils that's not a toxic fragrance that will mess with your hormones. Smell that basil one, because I'm telling you, it is shocking how good that smells. Now, I told a friend that works in a retail store that actually sells those recently, I said, you know what, this would be the nicest little housewarming gift, or even a birthday gift, or just a gift for someone who is very practical. And she's like, oh, I've never smelled it before. Well, she smelled it, and the next time I went in the store, she sticks her head around the office door and goes, hey, Tanya, you were right. That basil fragrance blew me away. It was so good. It was so much better than I expected. So if you can find a Meyer's soap, I think it's called Mrs. Meyer's soap, like a hand soap. They make the cleaner and stuff like that in it, but the basil fragrance is shockingly good. So I'm going to show you how to do this basil. Now, here is one of my little basil plants. I have them lined up on my front steps. I'm just sitting on my front porch. So I have them lined up on my steps, and I have 8 of these in different size terracotta pots. But this one, you're going to take and snip it off right above where this intersection is. So you can go higher or lower. It's really not going to matter that much. But I'm going to snip mine off about right there. You're going to pick these bottom leaves off like that. And the only reason you do that is because you don't want leaves sitting in water, because then it gets kind of funky. Okay, let's go in, and I want to show you some that I already have in jars. Literally, they're just, some of these are in olive jars that I've saved, just tall, skinny jars. Some of them still have the labels on them. I'm serious. I've got them in the bathrooms, and it's such a lovely fragrance. So let's go in and I'll show you what these look like when you get them in a jar. Okay, so this is one. See, it's still got the label on the jar, but this is what it looks like. But you can take your little basil that we just picked and stick it down in here. Make sure it goes all the way down in the water. You can see inside that the stem is going all the way down in the water. You want to keep the water level up really high, like right to here, and they are going to flourish. Now I'm going to take you in another room and let you see one that has rooted. Okay, we're now in the kitchen, and I want to show you this. I've got this bouquet just sitting out on the counter. I make sure the water level is up to the top pretty much every day. But I want to show you these roots on this. Now, I've just stuck these in water, but you can see how beautiful those roots are. And at this point, I could actually go out and just
plop them down in some soil. They're going to take root and just grow and be beautiful and survive on their own. But I think I'll leave these in there a little bit longer, maybe let the roots get, I don't know, maybe up to an inch long. But if somebody came in my house today and said, oh, I love basil, but I can't grow it, I would happily put this in a little bag of some sort with some water in it, send it home with them, and they will be the happy owners of a basil plant. So not only does it make the room smell good, but you can share it. These will turn into basil plants. I could easily come over here and pick some of these leaves off to use them on top of a pizza or in a salad or just anything that we want to use them for. But the fragrance is just so good. The petals don't fall off. They don't attract bugs. There's just so many advantages to it. Okay, I'm going to show you one more little vase that we have in a different bathroom. Okay, this is another vase that literally, I think it's an olive jar, but I just have a few stems of it stuck down in here, and for some reason this just has just enough fragrance to it to make this bathroom. It's a tiny bathroom, but it is just such a good fragrance.
Okay, so there you have it. That's my helpful hint for the day. To get some basil, find some basil, grow some basil, and from that it just perpetually keeps growing. It's just such a neat plant, and the fragrance is just outstanding. I've never known anybody that said, oh, I don't like the smell of basil. Everybody just enjoys it. So if you're thinking about giving a gift, if it's during the summer, fresh basil is the way to go. If it's not during the summer, go find some of that Meyer soap and just buy a bottle of pump soap. I know it's a practical gift, but I'm telling you, the receiver is going to love it. So anyway, thanks for joining us today. I know the video is short. We'll do some cooking later on, but right now it's just too hot to cook. So I just thought I'd share with you that idea about fresh basil. So we look forward to sharing something again with you real soon. Bye, guys.